And specifically, it will be named based on the ions that they control. If this channel controls sodium, what you call that channel? Sodium channel. If it is control the chloride ion, it's called chloride channel. I mentioned to you, have you heard about the cystic fibrosis disease? It's actually caused by the faulty of chloride channel on their lung cell. So their lung cell do not control the chloride movement. So they have problem. Someone that have cystic fibrosis, they have faulty chloride channel. So what is the function of that ion channel? Move the ions in or out. Okay. So last time we talked about that. Okay, which is transport across membrane. Transport across cell membrane. Okay, you still remember there are two main types. The first one is the one that do not require energy. What you call that? Passive transport. Passive transport. It has three types. The first one is simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. What does this simple diffusion mean? It's movement of small molecules, mostly hydrophobic molecules, in and out through the phospholipid bilayers. So they just cross that layer over there, boom, 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 without any help. Example of this molecule that perform simple diffusion is oxygen and what is the other one? Carbon dioxide. Okay. The oxygen usually enter into your cell. Why? Because so many oxygen outside of your cell is carried by your blood. Your cell need oxygen. Inside the cell, the oxygen is used to making ATP. Therefore, the concentration of oxygen is always lower inside the cell. When you make ATP, it will produce the byproduct. It's called the carbon dioxide. Therefore, there are so many carbon dioxide inside the cell compared outside the cell. This carbon dioxide will exit from the cell. And that, bless you, that movement is called simple diffusion. You get it, right? Second, facilitated diffusion. Okay? This is for charged molecules and also for big molecules. Charged molecules mean the molecule that have charge, whether positive or negative. So if it is positive ions, what do you call it? Positive ions are cations. Okay? So cation, example is sodium ions, they are positive. Potassium, they are positive, right? How about the negative ions? What do you call it? Anions. Anions, example is chloride. Okay, chloride is negative ion. So these ions cannot cross this phospholipid bilayer. They cannot. Because phospholipid bilayer over here, it has lipids on it, which is fat. And fat don't like the charged molecule. Okay? So therefore, the charged molecule, the ions will not be able to enter. But you need sodium, for example. Okay? You need sodium inside your cell, and there are so many sodium outside the cell. Therefore, that sodium will use this. What you call it? The sodium channel, the ion channel. So example for this one, okay, is charged molecule. Okay, or that charged molecule is also known as ions. Okay, and this ion will use what? Ion channel, which is a type of proteins on the cell membrane. You get this one? And again, they will have the name specifically based on the ions that they control. We have sodium channel, we have potassium channel, we have chloride channel, we have a calcium channel in our cell membrane. There are so many channels. If they broken one of them, you have problem. That's it. Okay. The second one is for large molecule. Large molecule, such as glucose and amino acid, they cannot cross the phospholipid bilayer because they are too big. They require facilitation, helper. What do you call the helper for this big molecule? You still remember I put there are 6 functions of proteins on cell membrane protein. One of them is ion channel. Okay, or protein channel. What's the second one? No, enzyme is not using for transporting molecule. It's for, yes, the transport protein. What? It's not a tricky question. It's a transport protein, or also known as transporter. The transporter is also a type of integral protein. Integral protein. Okay, it will transport bigger molecules. Therefore, these bigger molecules, they control by what we call the facilitated diffusion. They still move from higher concentration to the lower concentration, but they need helper. You get it? Maybe ion channel or maybe transporter. Okay, next. What is number 3? Special movement of water is called osmosis. Do you know that osmosis is osmosis? Do you know that water is actually charged molecule? You still remember husband and wife? What? Husband, wife, what? Over here? Remember the husband? The husband use more money, right? Therefore, husband a little bit positive or a little bit negative? Negative, because the money that we're talking about is actually electrons, right? So husband slightly negative. Are you with me? How about the wife? Get less money, slightly positive, slightly positive. You see that one? This is H2O, right? H2O. This molecule of water have charge. You follow that? It has charge. Slightly negative and also slightly positive. Now, remember the charged molecule. Can they enter or cross the phospholipid bilayers directly? No, they need what? Channel. They need channel. Therefore, in our cell membrane, we have special channel for water. That channel is called the aqua porins. What is aqua mean? Water. What is pores mean? Holes. Pores, right? So, this is actually ion channel for what? For water. Okay? So water use aquaporins to move. Are you with me? Now, the movement of water through osmosis over here is a little bit different with diffusion. If diffusion is movement of molecules, any molecules, okay, from higher concentration to the lower concentration, the osmosis is kind of opposite. Look at, let's say this is our cell membrane. This is our cell. Okay? So we have water over here. Get it? And we have the aquaporin over here. Okay? Let's say outside over here, okay, we have a lot of sodium chloride, sodium chloride, sodium chloride, and less sodium chloride over here. Are you with me? Okay? We also have water over here. That's correct? This is ECF, extracellular fluid. Now the water will always try to dissolve the solute. You get it? So this is what we call solute. Right? And the water, they also known as a solvent. Have you ever heard that? Solvent? What does solvent mean? Something that dissolve the solute. If you put solute plus solvent, then what you have? You have solution. You have solution. If you put salt in the water, what do you have? Salt solution. You have solution. You follow this one first. Now, the way water moves is actually, it will always try to dissolve the solute. It means that the water will go from lower solute concentration, right? It's not water concentration, but it's solute concentration, to the higher solute concentration. You get this one? Are you with me? The area that have more solute concentration, we call it as hypertonic solution over here. It has higher solute concentration, hyper. The area that have lower solute concentration is called, what's the opposite of hyper? Hypo. So this one is hypotonic solution over here inside the cell. Okay? So if there are so many sodium chloride outside our cell, what happens with our cell? It will be shrink. It will dehydrate, right? Example, if you are stranded on the ocean just with the boat, okay, for several days, and you drink the ocean water, what happened with you? You become more thirsty, dehydrated. Why? Because your water is actually out. Out, try to dissolve the ocean water that you drink on your stomach, on your GI tract. Therefore, you die. That's the easy way. You die because of what? Dehydration. Are you with me? You follow this, okay? That's how the water move, the osmosis, okay? Now, I'm gonna give you example over here. Remember this idea or this, condition over here. Now, let's say we perform an experiment. Let's see what happened. Okay, let's say we perform an experiment with the red blood cell. Okay, let's say we have 3 containers over here. Okay, and then we put liquid or water. Okay, so water. You get this one? Okay, on this one we don't put any solute. Okay, let's say in this one we put sodium chloride in it. Okay, and we make it concentration of sodium chloride is around 0.09. Okay, get it? So it has sodium chloride, but 0.09. How about this one? What is the concentration of sodium chloride over here? 0. Okay, we don't put any salt. Okay. Let's say we put over here sodium chloride, but we put so much, it's become so salty. Okay? It's become salty. Let's say this is 10, concentration is 10. So it's really salty actually. Alright? You guys what? Now, over here, okay, we put red blood cell. We put red blood cell. We put red blood cell. Okay? Now, red blood cell, our red blood cell actually have sodium chloride in it. It has around 0.09 sodium chloride. It's a small number, 0.09 to 0.9 maybe. That's the what we call the homeostasis for the sodium chloride inside the cell. 0.09 to 0.9. We get that concentration. Okay. Look at comparing this solution over here. Remember, this is also water over here, right? This is water because we have ICF. ICF is water. You follow this? Now compare the concentration between this and this. Which one is higher? Inside the cell, right? This is 0 and this is 0.09. You can find 0.9 to make it a little bit maybe different over here. So you can see different. This is 0 and this is 0.9. Which one has more? Inside the cell. So solution that has lower concentration, okay, against the other one, that solution is called the hypotonic solution. Okay, so it means that the water in this container is hypotonic, less than the red blood cell. Look at this one. This is, let's say, make it 0.9 to make it the same. This one 0.9 inside the cell, outside the cell also 0.9. What is the concentration? Which one is higher? They are the same. Therefore, the solution over here that have the same concentration is called the isotonic solution. Isotonic solution. The same tone, the same concentration, the same pressure. Now, look at the last one. It has 10, it is only 0.9. Which one has more in the container? That one, then solution, the container is called the hypertonic solution. You get this one? Now, remember the rule for osmosis. So it has aquaporin over there, right? Aquaporin. You have channel for the water. Okay? What is the rule for the osmosis? Where the water will go? To the higher solute concentration. Look at number 1 over here. Container number 1. Where do you think the water will go? In or out? Into the red blood cell, because what is higher over here? What is going here? Going here. Going here. Now what happened with the red blood cell? Become bigger or smaller? Bigger. Become bigger. It's filled with water, bigger, and finally it's actually explode. It can explode. Okay? You with me? And that process is called because we're talking about red blood cell, hemolysis. The red blood cell will be broken, will be exploded. And this process is called the hemolysis. Are you with me? Therefore, when you give your blood in blood donor, for example, okay, the nurse will not put your blood on the regular water. Okay? They will put it in special water. The special water is called the buffer, which is this one over here. So look at number 2. What happened with this? 0.9, 0.9. So what happened with the water? Stay or still move? They still move actually, but they move here, they move out, they move here, they move out. Because water, they have the aquaporin, I want to get there, I want to get there. They just freely moving. And what happened with the red blood cell? Stay the same. Okay? Stay fresh. Or stay the same. This is actually the solution that will be used to store your blood. It's called the buffer solution, which is isotonic solution. Get it? Stay fresh, right? Or stay the same. Because that red blood cell will stay the same. Nothing happen. Okay. Now how about the last one over here? Where do you think the water will go? It's going to be outside because this water over here try to dissolve this sodium chloride, right? Now what happened with the red blood cell? Become bigger or smaller? Become smaller, shrinking, shrink. That condition is called crenation. So crenation is the cell that becomes smaller, dehydrated because the water out. It's crenation, not cremation. Cremation is burning dead body. Crenation, okay, with N. Okay. Do you have question for this one, for this osmosis? Okay. So you have, your cell has the ability to control this water movement. Therefore, you can stay stress. You can stay fresh, because you have this ability to control the water inside your body. You have question for that? If not, I'm gonna erase it. Right? I'm gonna continue with the next transport type. It's not that difficult, right? It's easy and makes sense. Okay, I think we're gonna erase this passive transport. We're gonna change into the second type. Yes?
What is AA right there?
Amino acid. Amino acid. Amino acid needed to make protein. Especially your muscle cell, they need a lot of amino acid. So this amino acid has to enter into your cell. They need transporter. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna go to number 2. Number 2, type of transport across membrane. Okay. What is the opposite of passive? Gonna be active. Okay, active transport. Okay. There are several types. The most abundant one, which is the most important one, we have what we call the primary active transport. This is also known as sodium potassium pump. The name is telling you it will be pumping the sodium and potassium at the same time. Okay? We're gonna explain this one first, okay? So make sure you get it, okay? And then we'll continue later to the second one. Primary active transport. Okay, look at this, because I need this space to draw this cell. Okay, let's say this is the cell. I will not put nucleus or whatever else over there because we're gonna talk about the cell membrane over here. Okay? Remember, cell membrane consists of phospholipid bilayer, right? You guys right? And it has ion channel. Okay, ion channel. One of them is the one that control the sodium. What do you call that channel? Sodium channel. We have so many sodium channels in our cell membrane. The other one, I'm gonna use maybe different color over here. We have also ion channel or potassium. Then what do you call that channel? Potassium channel. Are you with me? So in homeostasis, our cell, inside the cell, the voltage is actually negative 70 microvolt. So our cell is actually negative charge because more negative charge inside the cell. Many proteins are negative charge Okay, carry negative charge. So negative 70 microvolt. We have to control this within this. If it is too much, for example, increase into minus 35, it's a lot, right? Or even plus, for example, you have problem. Okay, you have to control this within what? Negative 70 microvolt. That's the charge of the cell. If you take maybe some people have the experiment, put the cell, okay, voltage with there's a volta method, small voltage method that can measure the cell. Usually they use the frog. Maybe you have see they use the frog and put that voltage and then measure it. It's around this negative 70 microvolt. Get this one? So we have to control this. This is homeostasis. Now look what happened. Inside your cell, you actually have more potassium. What is potassium charge? It is cation, so it's positive. You follow this one, right? And outside your cell, you actually have more sodium. What is the sodium charge? Also positive. You with me? Okay? So these two channel over here, sodium channel and potassium channel, is keep open. There is no gate on that channel. There are some channel that have gate, it's called a gated channel, but this one is called leaky channel, no gate. It means that it's keep open. You see that if they have more sodium outside, what is going on with the sodium? Will the sodium enter or exit it from the cell? Enter, because remember diffusion. We don't need energy, just move it. It's so crowded over here, you don't like it, so hot. What you gonna do? Enter to the nicer place, right? Are you with me? So this is what you call that movement? No, it's not simple. You see that channel over here. Facilitated diffusion, right? Remember, simple is for oxygen, carbon dioxide. You guys run, okay? Make sure you get it, okay? Otherwise, you will confuse during the exam, right? So this is what facilitated diffusion using the channel. And this will enter because higher concentration to lower concentration. Oh. Now, whenever they go, they actually go together, not by itself. Okay, so friend, you take friend. And it's actually every time they enter into the channel, 3 of them will enter. Are you with me? So 3 sodium will enter into the cell through the sodium channel in one movement. And then another 3, another 3, another 3, another 3, because it's keep open. Okay? You get it right? How about the potassium? What do you think potassium will do? You have more potassium inside. It will exit. What you call that movement? The same, facilitated diffusion. However, this is what happened. I don't know, maybe potassium is bigger. Okay. Therefore, only 2 actually. 2 potassium exit from the cell. 2 exit, 2 exit. 3 and enter, 2 out exit. Remember, both of them are negative charge. Get it? Now what happened with the voltage inside the cell? Become more positive or more negative? You got 3 positive in, 2 positive out. More positive, always like that. What is mean that your cell will always be more positive, which is you don't want it. Why? Because you need this to be here. Therefore, you have the system that will pump this out and pump this in. Are you with me? That system is called the sodium-potassium pump. So you have a protein that has a function to pump that ion. So this will pump 3 sodium in or out. Remember, active transport is require ATP. Is movement from lower or from higher? Lower to higher. This is active. So which one is lower? Inside, right? higher outside. So it will pump, boom, 3 sodium out. You with me? Yeah? It will balance this. Bam, bam. Are you with me? But you also have to balance this. Okay? At the same time, this pump will also pump potassium in or out. In because lower to higher, pumping in. How many? 2. Are you with me? And this one require, gonna use color over here. Okay? This one require ATP. And who made the ATP? Mitochondria. So mitochondria provide this energy for the pump. And this pump is called what? Sodium, potassium pump. We have thousands of this pump across our cell membrane in order to what? Here. To control the homeostasis. You follow that? So that's what we call the primary active transport. We need this one. We have this one. Okay. Do you have concern for this one? This makes sense, right? It makes sense. Believe me, even though you don't see the cell, they're doing like that. They're doing like that. Yeah, it's helping you to be healthy, to be good, to smile. Okay, to be happy. No worry. Be happy. Okay. Okay. The second one. If you have primary active transport, then you have the second one. What do you call it? Secondary active transport. Okay? Secondary active transport. This is also using the channel. Okay? So let's say you have channel for hydrogen ions. So hydrogen ion is depend whether you have more or less outside. It will depend with maybe sometimes go outside, sometimes go inside. But whatever this hydrogen pumping something, the hydrogen ion pumping the hydrogen ions, okay? This channel pumping the ion, it will perform something. It might carry other molecule with it. To the same direction. And this one is called the uniporter. Okay, so the channel that have the ability to carry other ions or molecules to the same direction is called a uniporter. It's actually create the energy for the second molecule to move out to one direction. Let's say if going this direction and carry, I'm gonna use different color, carry other molecule to the same direction in what you call this one. It's still the uniporter. Okay? Or if it is carry is out and that create energy for other molecule to go in, okay, it's gonna be called the antiporter. Okay? Antiporter. Uniporter sometimes also called as a symporter. To make it simple, symporter the same. Porter means transporter. So the transporter that carry on the same direction. Antiporter is transporter that carry molecule to the opposite direction. So that's secondary active transport. We have that. Several of symporters and antiporters. Mostly hydrogen ions create that activity. Okay? You have questions so far for this? Next. What time is it now? We still have more time, a lot of time. So you go to the medical school, for example, it's really important to know how this membrane cell, creating this. I mean, control the movement of molecule, whether passive or active. the next one. The next type. Let's say we go with the endocytosis first. Endocytosis. What does endo mean? Enter. Okay. What is cyto mean? Cell. So movement of molecules into the cell, which is, because this is endocytosis, it's require energy. It means that actually that molecules will be carried by vesicle. Okay, vesicle means like organelles, small organelle that carry molecule in this case, endocytosis. I'm gonna use this one over here. Okay, this is the cell. Let's say you have hormone. Hormone is actually carried by what we call the vesicle. Right? It's carried by vesicle. It's not by itself. It is not dissolved in the water. Especially if it is lipid hormone, they will be carried by the vesicle. So let's say this is hormone. Right? So these hormones have to enter because we need hormone inside our cell, for example. Okay? Now, how they enter? They will need ATP, and then what happens over here? This cell membrane will create a structure that look like a mouth. Mouth. Or they try to eat. Phage. Phage means eat. Phago. Okay? So this molecule will be here, and then finally going here. And inside here, it can be released. You get this one? Okay? So this example of endocytosis. And because this endocytosis creating mouth, eating, phago, therefore this endocytosis is called phagocytosis. You with me? Example is our red blood cell. They can eat bacteria, and that process is called the phagocytosis. Why? It's eating, the cell eating the bacteria. Phagocytosis. You with me? This is example of endocytosis. There is another one. If it is very liquid over here, it is not a bigger molecules. Hormone mostly bigger molecules. They are lipids. Let's say if it is liquid, but it is carried by vesicle. Usually, our cell will not make mouth. Mouth structure. It just enter over here. Okay, it just cover it and then enter it and release it here. If it is happen like this for a smaller molecules that carry by vesicle, the endocytosis is called the pinocytosis. So pino or pinocytosis. Okay, no creating mouth structure. It's not eating, it's kind of drinking. That's pino mean. Okay, it's kind of drinking the molecules. You guess what? And this process require ATP in order to move the vesicle in or out. Are you with me? Now, D, what is D? If you have endo, then you have exocytosis. What is exocytosis? It's really similar with endocytosis. It is from inside, go outside, using vesicle. It is exocytosis. Get it? Alright. Number next. It's called the transcytosis. How it is happening? It is similar with exo and endo, but it actually have both of it. In the transcytosis, it has both of it. Let's say I'm gonna use this one. This is mostly for the cell that bind together. So you have another cell over here. You see that one? Let's say this is two cells. bind together, like maybe epithelial cell or muscle cell, they are binding together. Let's say you have vesicle over here, right? And this vesicle go out from one cell, and this is gonna be what? Exocytosis, right? And then transfer across the membrane. Over here will be enter here, and this one is endocytosis. Are you with me? And this has special name. What you call it? Transcytosis, which is the process of endo and exocytosis at the same time between two adjacent cells. Okay? Get it? Okay. Do you have questions so far? This is the active transport. And we're done with the transport across the membrane. Do you have question? You know, we're gonna have the last topics for the cell, which is cell division. Yeah. I will not talk about the genes expressions in this course. You might have it later. Okay. But for this chapter 3 regarding the cell, we just want to talk about something that's very important for us, which is cell division. Okay, cell division. Okay. There are two types of cell division. The first one is called mitosis. Okay. And the second one, anybody know? We have meiosis. Okay, so mitosis and meiosis. What is the difference? Mitosis is a somatic cell division. Okay, just write it down first. Okay. Now look at this one. Meiosis. This is reproductive cell division. Okay, you guys want 99%, 99.9% our cell is actually somatic cell. Are you with me? So most our cell are somatic cell. Your skin cell, your bone cell, your liver cell, your kidney cell, all of them are somatic cell. Okay, cell body, soma mean body. Only two types are actually reproductive cell, and it's placed in different gender. Get it? If it is male, that reproductive cell is called, let's say this is male. What do you call your reproductive cell? Sperm. The reproductive cell is actually called spermatocyte. It's not the sperm itself, but the spermatocyte. What does spermatocyte mean? Cell that produce sperm. Get it? Your sperm is actually the product of spermatocyte division, which is meiosis. You get this one? Right? If it is female, then the cell is called, it's not egg, the egg is the produce, is the product of the